Goes on, guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video, I'm going to go over the trades that we took today, as well as the game plan going into tomorrow and the rest of the week. So today, we did have FOMC again. I did not trade SPY or futures today. I was, again, just kind of working on the swings that I had and also looking to add new ones. So I'm going to go over SPY real quick. Again, just kind of give my analysis. So we ended up getting a nice dip today on SPY, and you can see where did we end up bottoming at? Right near this 50 SMA on the monthly contracts for SPY. I told you guys I'm bullish as long as this holds, and today we got a pullback right to it just about, and we ended up bouncing hard into the close and markets ripping after hours. We did have earnings on Microsoft and Meta, which is propping us up, but this intraday dip did end up getting bought up because we dipped down to this major support on the monthly contracts. Told you guys, if we do get a pullback down here, this is a strong area of support. I can't really be bearish until this chart does lose the 50 and go negative. So until then, I'm bullish. If we look at the weeklies did not cross positive today. Obviously, since we did go negative on the 30-minute, you could see where we ended up topping at off of the close yesterday, right at this major pivot point on the weekly contract. So we hit that 50. From there, it decides if it's going to break and cross or it's going to reject and mark a top for the short term. So that's what happened yesterday. We ended up getting a dump today, which then we bounced off of that daily 50, like I said, on the monthlies. And we also, if I could pull up the SPY chart really quickly, it did look like we were going to flip bearish, but again, I really didn't think that was going to happen. Because of this is the wrong expiration, because of the higher time frame on the August contracts. Obviously, you never know what's going to happen, but that did cause me to get out of one of my swings, which I'll go over in a second, which is kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. So you could see we had this massive candle lower after FOMC. Kind of looked like we were going to end up crossing when price was all the way up here. I gave it some time, but eventually it just kind of looked like it was going to go cross after this candle closed. Honestly, I should have just held my position I had and kind of seen how the rest of the day went. But again, this chart here on the 630s ended up not crossing yet. We'll have to see tomorrow goes, but obviously futures are up, I believe, after hours because of Meta and whatever it was. What was it? Meta and Microsoft. So yeah, we end up slamming back down on these contracts, and I'm pretty sure these contracts after hours are sitting at like 0.8. So most likely we are not going to be bearish tomorrow. But this little drop did cause me to get out of my Google position, which was unfortunate. But yeah, I'll go over that in a second. But on SPY today, obviously I wasn't trading the 0 days. I was just looking at swings. So my outlook on SPY, honestly, I'm still bullish until that daily 50 gets lost on the monthlies that we just went over. Even if we get this short-term cross on the 30-minute, I really wouldn't consider it major trend until that monthly contract does go negative on the daily chart, because that is our major pivot point, and until that does break, we're going to keep bouncing off of it. So my eyes, we're still going to be seeing some upside. We'll have to see how we open tomorrow, but again, we're just going to play what we see, take it day by day. Going into tomorrow, market's neutral. So now onto the swings. If we pull up Google, so there was two things I did today. One, right off open, Google ended up sending, which was great, and I was actually up 45% on my contracts that I went over yesterday. I had the 195s for tomorrow's expiration, this Friday's expiration, and I ended up selling those, and I'm going to go over why. So I'm trying to find the screenshot here. I was up 45%. I sent this to the Discord, pulling on my alerts channel, and this is what we had. So I'm going to swing this over here. We were up 45%. I ended up closing it right here after I took the screenshot, just because I knew we had FOMC today, and I didn't want to be stuck in this Friday's expiration in case we did get a pullback, which we actually ended up dumping right after this, and the contracts nuked a bit. So I'm glad I did that. So I sold these for 45%. Again, when we're playing off of this daily chart right here, it's a bigger time frame trend, so it could take another day or two for it to rip, and that's kind of was my thought process behind it. We had FOMC, plus we're playing off of this bigger time frame picture. 30-minute wasn't crossed yet, so I just took those profits, and I ended up buying the what was it, the 200 calls for next week. So These are the contracts that we had. These actually ended up going like 35%, and I did sell this back at break even. So that was unfortunate because market was, again, on the 30-minute chart on the Fridays, we looked like we were going to cross bearish, and I didn't want to, be long on Google while SPY's flipping bearish. So, that's why I did close it. And maybe if we open up tomorrow, I may grab it again because I think it's down a little bit after hours, and daily chart still cross. As long as SPY doesn't flip bearish tomorrow, I might actually pick it up again. We'll have to see how we open, but yeah, that's why I closed Google. This chart still looks good on the daily. I don't see a problem with still holding long on it. I mean, we closed above the daily 10 SMA right there. 50's up, 10's up. It looks good for higher, won't lie. Again, tomorrow we'll have to see how we open for it because earnings obviously could affect that. I know Google was down a little bit after hours, so I still like Google. I mean, I think it's a good swing in the next week. Again, I have to see how we open. If there's any major gap downs or whatnot on Google, then that may change, but still like it as long as that 50 holds. And then our other play for the day, Oracle. This stupid chart, man, this is just so annoying, but it happens. So if we pull up Oracle on the daily chart, we could see the bigger picture's bullish. The monthly contracts, we have that monthly trend bullish because this is the 250 calls for the August 15th. These are the monthly contracts, 10's above the 50, we're trending bullish. Now, since we never got like a clear dip to the 50 from this pullback here, you wait for the 30-minute chart to cross. That's what happened. And if we pull it up, where's Oracle? Yeah, right here. So we ended up crossing the other day. I think I went over this in yesterday's video, but we ended up getting across, and you could have bought that 50 dip yesterday. I bought it right here. So this pullback right here, I literally bottom ticked this in the Discord. I gave it out right at the bottom. The contracts, I'm pretty sure, were sitting right around 280 when I called it out. It was literally zero drawdown on this whatsoever, and instantly was up like 50% on this bounce. I was holding for higher. You could have sold if you want, but again, I'm shooting for like 70-80% for a trim at least. But yeah, you could see what happens here. So we pulled back on the contracts and we closed below right here. I was still in this because one, the 50 was up. Two, there's still time for this to pop back above. So when this next candle opened, the contracts actually ended up popping up and they were right around 260. So I continued to hold it, but once we started to drop down in here, that's where I exited because this 10 SMA was down super hard. The 50 was actually curling at one point. It doesn't look like it right now because we ripped in a close, but again, I closed this once we were all the way down here and the 10 SMA was down, 50 was curling down a little bit, so I actually got out. So that was unfortunate because we had this absolute rip and a close, and I'm pretty sure it's up after hours as well. So the contracts closed right out where they were when we were up earlier. And another thing that I did like about this trade was this 4-hour chart. So we ended up getting this nice move higher today, but we did pull back right here, and then obviously in the close we just ended up just ripping. So that was another thesis behind it because back in here before today, you could see the 10 was going back above the 4-hour 50. And the 50 was up. It looks really nice, and I know it ripped in a close, and it still looks good for higher. I think we are up like over 1% in after hours. So again, this just happens. I mean, you can't really do anything about it. I mean, just unfortunate how this ended up playing out, but it was up like 50% from when I gave it, just instant move higher, but I ended up closing it for a loss. I'm just not looking for those massive or those small gains. I closed it for like 30%, so I mean, really wasn't even that bad of a loss. 30% when I'm shooting for 70 to 80 at least before I trim. If you want, you could have trimmed when you're up 50 and then hold the rest, but I was looking for higher. That's just kind of how I play these moves and how I catch the bigger moves because I'm not looking for that like 40-50% move. I'm looking for much higher than that. So Oracle was a sad one because it just flew into close. And then if we look up to Himes, this is one that I'm watching into tomorrow. It's a good looking chart. So we cross on the 30-minute. We are a little bit above this 50 SMA, so there is some room between it where it could drop possibly. So if there's any dip tomorrow, I'd grab it. If we look at the higher time frames, everything is pretty much crossing. I think even the 4 hours just crossing. Yeah, 4 hours just crossing here. And then if we flip to the daily, there's no daily 50, but I know that the monthly contracts are not crossed yet, but we did get a closure above the 50 SMA, so I'll have to see how the next couple days go in the next week, and if it does cross on the daily, I'd imagine Himes does get a nice move higher. So Himes is another one that I'm going to be looking for going into tomorrow and next week because we may not get the entry tomorrow, may come Monday, may come Tuesday because it might take some time for the actual daily chart to cross. I'm going to pull it up really quickly just so you guys know what I'm talking about. I think I have it on here somewhere. Maybe it's, yeah, it's right here. So Himes, you can see what I'm talking about. So closed above the daily 50, broke resistance. Now we just need this chart to cross because the 50 is still down, the 10 is up nicely. There's still a gap though between the SMA, so tomorrow it may end up pulling back a little bit just so these SMAs could catch up. It may pull back like the next day or two and kind of maybe pull back, pop a little bit, wait for the SMAs to catch up, and then go cross next week. So Himes is going to be one that I'm going to be watching. Like I said, rest of the week. Most likely this will be a play for next week. But if we do get a dip to the 50, I might take it tomorrow if we did get it and swing the next week's contracts. But yeah, that's what I'm watching. Hood is another good looking one. I know it had earnings after hours. It's up, I think, like 1%, but you know, it looks good. I mean, if it doesn't gap up too much, this 30-minute will still be crossed, and you could probably swing this for a nice move. I think the other time frames, yeah, higher time frames look really, really good. Crossed on the 4-hour, held that 4-hour support, and I'm not sure what the August ones actually look like. Oh wait, these are the August ones. So this is actually the wrong contract, but yeah, 4-hour chart's holding up nicely on Hood. Let me pull up the weeklies really quickly. So here's Hood. Actually, these are actually the wrong contracts. So if we flip over here to Hood, 30-minute. Yeah, so this 30-minute chart was pretty much going negative at the close, but again, that really doesn't matter. We had earnings after hours, so if this props back above, closes above the 10 to 50, both SMAs are curling up or flat, it'll be a good-looking long. So yeah, Hood's one to be watching for. I'm trying to. I wonder if they have a daily 50 on this. No, it doesn't. Okay, so let's see what else we have on the list here. OKLO went over this last like couple days. Told you guys I gave it from all the way down here. Told you guys this is a great looking setup. If we could get the 30-minute to cross tomorrow on the weeklies, it'll be great. As you can see, 10's going above the 50, pull back to the 10 there. Honestly, could have started scaling into some because there's not much of a gap between the 50 and the 10. I mean, what is this? $5 a piece. These 430 almost is where the 50 is. So you could have grabbed a starter. If not, just wait for the 30-minute chart to cross. Again, I'm going to pull it up really quickly so you could see what I'm talking about for the 30-minute. So I know it's up a little bit after hours. So if we do cross tomorrow on this 30-minute, 10 goes above the 50, 50's curling up, 10's up, that's where you take the entry point. So yeah, I like OKLO going into the rest of this week and next week. Last one, we got Coin. Again, I've been going over this last couple days. You can see what I'm talking about. We hit that major support area on Coin on the monthly contracts. We broke below it right here. We closed again below it. But again, these are such slight close belows where I wouldn't be concerned because the 50 is still trending up. Still a gap between where the 10 is and the 50. So it'll take some time to actually go negative. So wouldn't be surprised if we did bounce on Coin. If 30-minute chart could cross on the weeklies, that's a trade to take. I know we ended up rejecting the 30-minute on calls today, so just wait for that chart to cross if you want to take it, or just grab it. You could have grabbed a swing yesterday, you could have grabbed one today, and just, you know, hold it pretty much. If it gets a clear closure below, if 50 starts curling down, that's when you'd exit and stop out. So those are some of the trades I'm looking for. That's what we did today. Very simple. We're just playing crosses. Again, today wasn't the most ideal day because we did have FOMC, which, you know, was a little bit riskier holding like Google and things like that, but FOMC has barely been moving us recently. Like I don't remember the last time we actually got a big move from FOMC, so that's why I did end up holding my positions. But Google, still like it. Again, like I said, I may add it tomorrow because it is down a little bit after hours. But yeah, I mean, we're just playing crosses, 50 dips. I mean, it really isn't that hard. I mean, you just got to know how to hold a trade. Like, even though I was up 50% today, like, I really don't care. They're Friday expirations, they move a lot quicker. Realistically, that's not a big move at all. 50% on a expiration that's, or on a contract that's expiring in 2 days, it's not that much. So I'm looking for higher on the, you know, on the contracts that are the monthlies. If you're swinging like maybe 3 to 4 week out contracts, okay, maybe you could, you know, tone down the TPs a little bit, maybe go like 60-70% for a trim, and then take more off at over 100%. Really depends on, you know, the way you trade. But for me, this is how I trade. This is how you become, you know, profitable. By, you know, your losses aren't going to be like 70-80%. When you're taking profits at that level, you're going to outweigh your losers by 1,000,000%. So yeah, that's what we did. If you guys enjoyed, drop a sub. If you guys want to learn, join Discord down below. That's where I'm sharing these trades and everything like that. I don't even think I shared my Oracle trade, so I'm just going to show you guys that real quick. Again, I did sell this for a loss, but you know, I told Discord I was still holding this. We're up 40%, and you know, it came back down and stopped me out. But yeah, Oracle wasn't the best outcome, but you know, it happened. So yeah, that's all I got. I'm out. Peace.